Branding and marketing are important to the life and success of every business. However, I must say from the beginning that there are a number of misinformation, miscommunication of information as it relates to what is branding and what is marketing. Today, I want to spend some time discussing the differences between what is branding and marketing to help you, entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, to make better and more informed and educated decisions as relates to how to start and how to scale your business to have impact. For those who might be joining me for the first time, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the self-published best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Codes. My most recent book is titled 10X Branding and Marketing Blueprint, The Psychology of Doing Business. Today, some of the ideas that I will be sharing with you are direct extract from that book. I begin by reading from one of the chapters, and I begin by saying that branding and marketing is an essential part of doing business. It is this application of knowledge that enables your brand to build its identity, to build visibility, to achieve brand reach, to achieve brand impact, to achieve customer conversion, to be able to build confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of the workforce, the target market, the general public. This is what branding and marketing helps you to accomplish. But are you able to draw the distinction between branding and marketing here? Now, let me try to make it a little bit more clearer. Branding is largely about your value proposition. It's about your brand intention value trait. It's about your intention to add value and your intention to fix problems. But having the intention to deliver on good products and good services is only the intention. It takes more than the intention to make it happen. So the first thing that you need to do is to ensure that your brand intention value traits represents a premium brand, a complementary brand, or a supplementary brand. Your brand is likely to fall into one of these three categories. And based on your demographic type, it will ultimately influence your value proposition. You'll get much deeper into that today. So one is about the branding. It's about you understanding what is your brand intention value traits. And it's ensuring that you adopt the organization in a manner to deliver based on that value proposition. On the other hand, marketing is all about the vehicle or vehicles that you're going to be using to communicate the information to the specific target market. The first paragraph I've read, it gives some explanation of that. Marketing is about achieving the brand visibility. In the absence of marketing, the brand in itself will not attain the level of visibility it ought to attain to be able to achieve the reach, to achieve impact, to achieve customer conversion, and by extension, to be able to build confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of not just the workforce, but in the eyes of the specific target market and in the eyes of the general public. It's important to draw these two distinctions. I'm going to go a little further and read in another paragraph from my book. This management tool enables the firm to be managed in a market-sensitive and market-oriented manner. By committing time, talent, and resources to understand the target market needs, wants, and expectations, and adopting the firm culture to deliver on target and above the customer expectations consistently. Now, understanding this statement is very crucial and important to really understanding how the branding process actually begins. Now, very often this is what happens. A company or an entrepreneur decides to develop their value proposition. And you develop the value proposition divorced from understanding your specific target market. In fact, it should be the reverse. What I'm saying is that you should spend the time to understand your target market. And in understanding your target market, it simply means that you understand their social class, you understand their culture, you understand their lifestyle. And it is by understanding their lifestyle, culture, and social class that you're able to build out your value proposition to either reach those expectations or to go beyond those expectations. And one common mistake that is made by a lot of business startup, a lot of young entrepreneurs, is that you begin with the value proposition without the value proposition being informed enough to be certain that it's being 101% aligned to the specific target market needs, wants, and expectations, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, lifestyle, culture, and social class. So before you build out that value proposition, take the time to understand who is or are your target market. What are their social class? What are their culture? What are their lifestyle? Again, it is by understanding their social class that you're ultimately in a better position to predetermine whether your value proposition should represent one that appeals to a premium brand, to appeal to a complementary brand, or a supplementary brand. Understanding this, doing the market research, getting the skin in the game to understand this process, it is what is most likely what will allow you to become more strategic and targeted in building out your value proposition and designing your products and your service to best reach the needs, wants, and expectations, and dreams, and hopes, and aspirations of your specific target market. Your value proposition is not about your strong feeling, it's not about your ego, it's not about your sentiments. It's about market intelligence. From the market intelligence, you're now able to manage the operation in a market-oriented and in a market-sensitive manner. Market sensitivity simply means that you understand the needs of that market and you are adopting the culture of the organization, of the business, of the brand to be sensitive to the needs of that specific target market. So I trust that this little bit of information so far has helped you in the future to build out your value proposition. There's a right way and there's a wrong way to do this. I want to continue reading from another paragraph from my book titled 10X Branding and Marketing Blueprint. Branding and marketing enables the company leaders to develop a unique brand image that distinguish the brand identity and separate your brand from other brands in the market. 10X Branding and Marketing specializes in designing and implementing branding and marketing campaigns that position business to make an impact with new and existing clients and enable your business to 10x its potential to cash flow. And that's why we are here. Our vision is not just to put you in business or to help you with your business startup. Our vision is to help you to 10x. Now, talking about 10x, I want to introduce you to a very new concept that I have introduced in that book, 10x Branding and Marketing Blueprint, the Psychology of Doing Business. And one of the concepts that we have introduced is System Value Proposition 101. How to fill out your value proposition in such a way to make larger than life impact on your specific target market. I will go through a step-by-step process again, helping you to better understand branding, helping you to understand marketing, and helping you to understand what is the System Value Proposition 101. And I want to encourage you to reach out to us now, because understanding this can help you to literally leapfrog your business idea, help you to 10x your existing brand in a manner that you are making impact on your workforce, making impact on your target market, making impact on the general public, and by extension, you're making impact on the cash flowing potential of your organization. So again, I will read from my book. Now, I want to begin by looking at the heading. Understanding your target market and the brand intention value thread. Let me repeat this. In doing business, you want to spend time to understand your target market, because doing business is not about, again, it's not about your ego. It's not about what you want to do. It's about you understanding what are the needs, wants, and expectations of people, and adopting a market-sensitive approach in doing business. And what that means is that once you understand the market needs, you then adopt the organization to deliver those needs or deliver above the expectations of the target market. So this statement is saying, understanding your target market and the brand intention value thread. Again, when you understand your target market, it is easier to build out your brand intention value thread and make the impact that you want to make. Understanding your target market is what literally enables you to build out your brand intention value thread. Building your value thread is not an exercise that you do in futility. It is not an exercise that you do in isolation from understanding your target market. You are supposed to be building out your value proposition, building out your brand intention value thread to add value to fix problems based on understanding the target market. And I'm going to be repeating myself here because I believe it's important to get this message across. Define the market and define your brand. I gave you some hint here again. Now, very often the question around what is a brand comes up. Now, what exactly is a brand? And some of the information that I've seen circulating outside in the marketing world, the business world, is that a brand is largely how the public sees your business, your products, and your service. A brand is largely how the public see your business, your product, and your brand. Now, while that might be technically correct, it is important to explain and emphasize that the public does not arrive at a positioning statement or a position with your brand divorce from the brand intention value trade. Because if branding is dependent on public opinion that is not managed, that is not intentional, that is not strategic, it simply means that the public can come up with 10, 20 different opinions of what the brand represents. And to the branding and marketing manager, this certainly is not the objective. As a branding and marketing manager, you want to clearly communicate that my brand intention is to add value. My brand intention is to fix problems. And these are the specific characteristics of this brand. And those are the information that you want to communicate to the public in the clearest of manner, so as to ensure that they interpret it, they align to your corporate ideology or your branding ideology, and they are buying in to your products and your services. But to leave branding and marketing to the interpretation of John public with no strategic management systems in place to effectively communicate that information, it's like if you're doing an abstract painting. And branding and marketing is definitely not in that category of producing an abstract painting. Branding, you want to be intentional with the brand. You want to be intentional in communicating that information. And you want to be intentional in building out the entire corporate culture of the organization to deliver on that promise. Now, let's talk a little bit about the blueprint for branding. The blueprint for branding, to understand the blueprint for branding, that your products or service may represent, begins by understanding the target market you serve or intend to serve. I'm going to repeat this. The understanding, the blueprint for branding, the blueprint for branding, to understand the blueprint for branding that your product or service may represent begins by understanding the target market you may be serving or intend to serve. Let me explain this. There is a way in interpreting the blueprint for branding and marketing. As I said in the beginning, there are many entrepreneurs who stay in their office, isolate themselves from market realities. That means that you're not market oriented and you're not market sensitive, but you come up with a value proposition. And this again, perhaps might be some of the reasons why businesses give birth to an idea, but the idea collapses fast as you give birth because of the fact there is not proper alignment between the value proposition that you have designed in isolation from understanding your target market. There's no symbiotic relationships with that. This again is one of the reasons why I emphasize at the beginning that designing the value proposition, the brand intention value trade, it should only come after the research was done and you have taken the time to truly understand your market, to understand what are their needs and their wants and their expectations, to understand social class issues that are influencing their purchasing decision, to understand cultural issues that are influencing their personal purchasing decision, to understand the lifestyle issues that are influencing purchasing decision. And it's by understanding these realities, you now extract that data and build out your value proposition. Your value proposition can just be to satisfy those needs, wants, and expectations where they are, or it could be to push the ceiling where you're adding value and you're going beyond their expectations. This is what this statement is saying. To understand the blueprint for branding, that your products, to understand the blueprint for any brand that your products or service may represent begins by understanding the target market that you're serving or intend to serve. This process begins by conducting market research that enables you to identify the specific target market, to understand their lifestyle, to understand their culture, to understand their social class, and then align this data to innovate products and services that lives up to their expectations of the specific demographic or target market. This is important. I don't want you to miss this, because the more time you spend to understand your target market, it is the best opportunity you have to build out the value proposition to achieve the level of impact that you want with that target market, because you understand them. So you're not magically coming up with a value proposition. Your value proposition, it's properly aligned to the target market based on their social class, based on their lifestyle, based on their culture, their needs, wants, and expectations, and dreams, hopes, and aspirations. But you cannot achieve this if you are not market sensitive and market oriented. All right. So again, I trust that this information is helpful. I want to go one step further in reading this paragraph. The blueprint for branding, as proposed in this text, suggests that every department of the firm must be subject to branding and marketing systemization to attain and maintain the rank of premium brand. Now, this is going over to some other important issues here, because what is being said here is that the product or the service alone is not what is expected to be subject to branding and marketing systemization. And systemization is an important issue for you to recognize in as it relates to branding and marketing. The last paragraph is saying that the whole organization that represents the brand must be subject to branding and marketing systemization processes. And let me try to bring some more clarity to this. You might be producing a product and the product is Colgate, but the product is the only representation of the brand. Is the product Colgate the only representation of the brand? Your value proposition is to provide a quality product, and let's suppose that you do a quality product. But your value proposition might also be to deliver consistently quality on time, every time, across the region and the world. So you have the product, but then distribution and the value chain, you do not have the most efficient human resources to man that part of the organization. How does it affect the promise? How does it affect the value proposition? It affects it. Again, you may have an excellent brand, but your public relation department does not fully understand the brand largely because the acclimatization might have been flaws. And the right information is not being communicated to the public about the brand. Does public relation marketing affect the brand? It does. And by extension, this is one of the reasons why we're emphasizing with our 10X branding and marketing model, that as you set the stage to 10X your business, to 10X your idea, to 10X your brand, is not only to look at the specific products or the specific service or services. It's important that you look at the entire organization chart. The blueprint for your organization chart must be subject to some form of branding and marketing and systemization. The systemization process is where we talk about system transparency. We talk about system consistency, system accountability, system scalability, system traceability, and system transferability. All of this is necessary when you are building your brand to achieve larger than life impact. So these are just some snippets of what you are likely to get when you come into our 10X branding and marketing program. You can 10X your brand by enhancing the brand traits in alignment to the target market social class, the target market lifestyle, the target market culture. You can enhance the brand traits to better appeal. And we go deeper into all of this for you to get a much clearer vision of this. We call the brand traits optimization. And this is only a snippet of what you are likely to get when you become a part of our training program, the 10X branding and marketing and training program, and you're exposed to the system value proposition 101 branding and marketing initiative. Now, let me talk to you very briefly about marketing. The blueprint for marketing. The entire marketing process, and I want to get this very clear, the entire marketing process is subject to an interpretation of the brand intention value trait. Let me repeat this. The entire marketing process is subject to an interpretation of the brand intention value trait. So if you were ever wondering which is the chicken and which is the egg, which one comes before the other, this statement is saying very clearly that marketing is dependent on an interpretation of the brand intention value trait. Now, I must bring some clarity here because this can become a little tricky. Because very often one may ask, which comes before the other? Do we design the brand before the marketing strategies, or do we design the marketing strategies before we do the brand? Now, this largely depends on your understanding of what marketing represents. Now, marketing informs the branding decision. Let me explain what I mean by this. To understand the target market needs, wants, and expectations, lifestyle, culture, and social class, groups and reference groups, you must conduct market research, and that's marketing. That's the first element of getting the skin in the game. But once you would have completed the marketing research process to understand your target market, marketing informs the branding and marketing design process. I repeat that. Market research informs the branding design process. It is from the market intelligence that you gather, you can then predetermine how to target people based on lifestyle, culture, and social class. All right? It is from the market research you are now able to build out that brand to live up to the specific target market expectations. Now, once that is done, everything moving forward in terms of brand visibility, brand reach, brand impact, brand conversion, brand confidence, trust, and credibility, every single thing from the point of building the brand is informed from that brand itself. All right, so let me read this statement once again. The entire marketing process is subject to an interpretation of the brand intention value trend. Research captures the information. The branded and marketing managers, subject matter experts, decides on which elements of the market traits, the target market traits or expectations they will adopt into the organization, into the brand. Marketing interprets what that is and communicate that information back out to the public. The brand intention value traits can fall into one of three categories. Management has to interpret the market research. They can make the decision to put the brand into one of these three categories. One, you can build out a premium brand. Now you are targeting your market based on social class and based on their income. All right? Or you can build the brand to appeal or deliver complementary products. So you're not premium brand any longer, but you're complementary or you're supplementary. So in branding, your brand can take one of these three categories. A clear example of strategic brand alignment. Let us suppose that you have done research into celebrities, lifestyle of the rich and the famous. The moment you mention lifestyle of the rich and the famous, it clearly says that you're targeting a group of people that fits into a particular social class. So here is where the economic determinants of demands will largely influence how you build out the product, how you build out the services, how you reach and impact this specific target market. And if these psychographic, sociological factors are not taken into consideration as you build out your brand to appeal to that specific target market, you may have some issues, major issues. Again, as we go deeper into this program, as you come into the 10X branded and marketing blueprint, we will walk you through a step-by-step process. You know, again, I want to emphasize this. In doing branding, in doing marketing, you're never appealing to everyone. Very often we find an entrepreneur might say that my product is for everyone. Your product is never for everyone. You might want to drop the price for your product, and because your price is low, you say everyone can afford it. But a perception is gained by the affluent in society that if the price is cheap, it's not valuable. And from the time they garner that kind of perception about your brand, they disassociate themselves from it. So there's so much about the psychometrics the economic determinants of demands and the behavioral determinants of demand that you need to understand as you position your business, your idea, your brand to make larger than life impact on 4 different areas of the organization. Important for you to take notes of these things. All right. So I trust that you would have taken a few notes based on what I've talked about here. I want to read one more paragraph before I come to Value Proposition 101, the last concept that we're going to be looking at in today's program. The marketing process represents the marketing responsibility, or let me put it this way, the marketing is responsible for bringing attention to the brand, satisfying customer expectations or needs, and ensuring that the business realizes its financial objective. In a nutshell, we can say that marketing is responsible for bringing attention to the brand or brands, for satisfying customer needs, wants, and expectations, dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Because in branding and marketing, you say this is what you can accomplish. The brand intention is this, and utilize our products and services, and you will see the benefit. And third, is to ensure that the business realize its financial objective. Now remember, branding and marketing is not a hobby. It's a business model. And at the end of the day, one of the primary objectives of business is to cash flow maximize. One of the primary objectives of business is to satisfy customer needs, wants, and expectations. One of the primary objectives of doing business is to communicate information very clearly to your target market. Absolutely necessary. All right, so those are some of the takeaways that I'm really trusting that you're taking the time to understand this. Now, what I want to talk about now is what we call the System Value Proposition 101. The blueprint for System Value Proposition 101. Why did we coin this term System Value Proposition 101? The SVP 101 model builds out systems that enables branding and marketing to realize 10 times its traditional effects on the workforce, the target market, the public, and the cash flowing potential of the firm. Now, this is what represents System Value Proposition 101. Now, System Value Proposition 101, I must emphasize this. It captures the essential elements of branding, the essential elements of marketing, and propose innovative approaches that allows you to achieve 10 times the effect, the positive effect in impacting your workforce, impacting your target market, impacting the general public, and by extension, impacting the cash flowing potential of the organization. The strategic game plan here is that if you are achieving 1x, is that with this game plan, with this model, System Value Proposition 101 is for you to 10 times what you're doing. Of course, it's a process. But what this program is proposing is a systematic approach to achieve that end results. So some of the things that you will be introduced to, and some of which we have talked about already, you will have a clearer understanding of what is the brand traits optimization, how to optimize your brand traits, how to optimize the brand visibility, how to optimize the brand reach, how to optimize the brand impact, how to optimize brand conversion, how to optimize brand confidence, brand trust, and brand credibility. And once you would have now built out these systems to optimize all of these processes and systems, you want to now apply the systemization rules to it. You want to ensure that you have system transparency, system accountability, system consistency, system scalability, system traceability, and system transferability. So it's a very unique program, and I want to encourage you across the world to reach out to us at 10X Branding and Marketing LLC to learn more about these unique initiatives. You can log on to us at 10X, number 10 and X, Branding and Marketing LLC.com. You can navigate the website and you can learn more about us. You can reach out to us at 10X Branding and Marketing LLC. This is a New York-based company, and we are now spreading our wings across the Caribbean. So reach out to us. We're here to mentor, coach, support you to achieve your business strategic objective. Again, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the self-published multiple best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkits, Billionaire Codes, and most recently, 10X Branding and Marketing Blueprint, The Psychology of Business. Be blessed and see you in the next broadcast.